Hey everyone, so I wanted to make this video today just about this lighting kit that you can get for some of your LEGO Speed Champions. So this is actually the Ferrari 812 Competizione 76914, and I have already built this in the past, so it is a model that's been completed. But I got this lighting kit recently and it's supposed to help make it look like it's got realistic headlights, so I wanted to just do a video about putting this on and what it looks like. So in the actual package itself, you've got a few different pieces. This here is a USB connector if you wanted to actually power the lights over USB. That's a battery pack, which works on AAA batteries. You have the actual bricks that are connected with the LEDs, so that you can put those in as your lights. And then you've got a few small tools here. So an instruction manual, if I can get it out of the box. I'm gonna use this. There we go. So we've got an instruction manual, and we've got a little bit of a card here letting you know this company was Brick Bling, so that's just where I got it from. Some tweezers, and we are ready to get started. When you open this up, the instruction manual just tells you to go to the website to get the instructions. So I'm gonna pop over there now so you can see what that looks like, and then we'll get these put onto the car and see what it all looks like together. So the instructions actually tell you to go to a website that is lightingmanuals.com. So once you're there, the actual reverse side of the packaging has a code on it. And when I search that up, it gives me the model that I'm looking for. So I can click on that, and then I have an instruction video which you can watch, or you can get the PDF installation instructions. So we'll take a look at that. So it'll give you all the instructions here, and I'll actually flip over to the other camera and I'll go through the instructions as they lay them out so you can see how it all goes together. The first thing I'm going to do is actually test to make sure everything's working, which they advise you to do, and I think that's a good idea. So this here, if you want to actually use the unit, you need to take this little piece, which allows you to connect your power either through the battery pack or through the USB cable to the actual LED bricks themselves. Now I'm not going to use the USB. I've already put some AAA batteries in here to make that work, so I will test it that way. Once you've got those securely connected, then you've got a power switch on here that you can flick and just make sure that your lights are actually working. Okay, so to get this started, we need to remove a few pieces off of the car. Then they want the removal of these two triangular pieces in here. That's 1 and 2, which allows us to actually take these clear triangular pieces on the lights and replace what we just removed. So we should be able to easily fit these guys, one in here and one on the opposite side. Okay. Now we need a way to actually allow this cable to kind of sit and not be in the way of the whole set itself. So what they're saying is to remove these pieces. So from behind the headlight, we're going to remove basically from this black piece here into this cavity so it can run underneath this portion. Once all those pieces are out of the way, we can actually feed this cable underneath the bricks. So it should look like this when it's done. And once that portion is complete, then you can actually replace these pieces back in to the unit. And you can see that it used to sit at a bit of a lower angle, but because of the cables that come out of the top of these pieces now, it actually keeps this grill portion from pushing down as far. So you can see where those cables are there. If I were to push this down, it tilts the actual new lighting bricks. So it kind of sits up a bit higher than it used to before. That's a bit unfortunate, to be honest. But what are you going to do? That's just the way it is. So now we're going to move to the back end of the vehicle. So we'll flip this around. And now we've got to remove some of the back part of the car. And the last thing that we have to take off is all of this tail light portion. So we want to do the same thing as before and add this transparent piece to the back of one of our tail lights so that we are ready to add these in. Now the red portions are going to be what we need for these tail lights. So we're going to come in on this right side with the cable, and we're going to attach both of these in here like this. There's one, and there is two. All right, and we can replace our tail lights. The stacked pieces are going on the inside, and the singles are going on the outside. All right. What they advise is actually coming in here with this cable and trying to run it along the side of this whole piece so that it comes down out of the way. So you can see now that this piece is all through here and you can't see it from the back. It's kind of hanging off the side. This cable here, you're going to push into this cavity. And the one that's still left hanging out is going to run up along the side here, right through the center. Now we'll move on to that clear piece. And it's got a sticky back on it, which is to stick underneath. Okay, so we're going to take the sticky side of this and put it right in here underneath the windshield. Okay, so now your windshield is sort of like dangling attached. And then you should be able to replace your windshield at this point. Okay. So by the nature of how this all goes together, these pieces where the wire goes underneath, they're kind of just dangling in there. Like this is pretty easy to just pop off if I just touch it like that, because the wire's holding it upright. You also are going to probably knock off many portions of this build as you're trying to insert this in. And this cable, I guess, just permanently hangs out of the back of the vehicle. So if you're going to display this and it's always going to be in the opposite direction, you know, and you have this at the back, or your cable coming out at the back and then the rest of the car's at the front, or you're only looking at the front view and you kind of tuck this in behind, then, you know, this is probably going to work for you pretty well. But for the most part, I'm not upset with this, but I'm also not really super satisfied with it either. That's just me being honest about that. It would be nice if this was able to incorporate in this set a little bit better, where you're not compromising the connection points. Anyway, let's just turn the lights off and check this out with its lights on and see how it looks. Okay, it does look kind of cool with the lights off. Just seeing this model, you can see that the whole sort of cabin is lit up. And the tail lights definitely look cool. Like that's the right way to use these pieces for sure. You have a good amount of light coming off this as well. It's a cool look. It's up to you, I guess, to decide if it's worth it for display purposes. Okay, so that's the set. Again, there's a few things that it seems to compromise, you know, with the initial build of this set. But if you like the lights on them and that's something that you're into, then this is the set for you. I guess it's a good option to be able to accomplish what it is. The minifigure does fit inside, but again, there's a bit of play here now because the cable itself is sort of pushing up on the windshield. You also have the option again to change that out for the USB and just keep that power consistent instead of running on batteries, but that's what it looks like. I hope this is helpful if you are considering a lighting set for at least this particular set of Speed Champions, and yeah, hope to see you in the next one.